lot of depth in there. I mean, Peke with that Lissandra yesterday was brilliant. He's won all of his games so far with Lissandra, so could expect a ban to come out for that one, or certainly be a very highly contested pick. Right now, Fiddlesticks banned out, obviously, against Mithy, who himself has been vocal about how strong Fiddlesticks and that fear is right now. Zed coming out as a ban as well for Fnatic. Elise and Shen banned out for Lemondogs. So no YellOwStaR Shen today, and no sOAZ with Elise.
Yeah, and Dexter as well on Elise as well as another one. They've actually taken it away from themselves as well as Fnatic. We have seen Cyanide and Jarvan a bunch of times. There is a number of champions available. Is Shen going to get banned out? Of course, he has been already. He definitely is going to get banned out. Yeah. Hey, just call me Jack, man. I got this covered. Waiting for the final ban. This is definitely so things out. It is going to be a Lissandra ban, so they don't want to see either Nukeduck or Zorozero on that one. Nukeduck himself has played a lot of Zed, so no surprise that that was banned against him.
Yeah.
Twisted Fate has snuck through here. Fnatic are scary with that champion.
And I'm wondering if that's going to be the final ban here for Lemondogs. I mean, the taking of Lissandra away, a champion which both Peke and sOAZ play as well, kind of surprises me, but also tells me that they've got higher priorities when it comes to that first pick and don't want to let that Lissandra go to the other side. It's not Teemo that is that high priority pick.
Insta-lock.
That'd be incredible and would make my jaw drop a little bit. But Rise taken away by Lemondogs, which again is kind of surprising to me because Zorozero, that's his most played champion so far here in the summer split. Played it 6 times, won 4 games with that. So statistically a good champion for Lemondogs, but they don't want to let that one go through here. Really interested to see what Fnatic go for as their first pick now. Well, that Twisted Fate, of course, is there.
I'm wondering, I mean, they've gone with a champion beginning with T to start with, so maybe sOAZ is getting selected, but Kassadin's out there, so there's a good counter towards him. Fnatic, if you remember, against Gambit in Tenerife, let Twisted Fate through. Nukeduck hasn't got a great record on Twisted Fate, so maybe they're just thinking, okay, we're going to leave it out there, and it seems that that's what they're doing. We're going to see whether it filters its way through towards the end. The fact that they have gone with Varus, so Pushu's going to be happy. They've still got the top laner. I think it's going to be Kennen top laner, and of course, they've taken away Jarvan from Cyanide.
Yeah, I think that will be Kennen in the top lane. Zorozero played a lot of him already. Same thing for Dexter here in the jungle with Jarvan 4th. On the other side, Fnatic locking in that Varus, which is quite interesting when you look at the stats, because it's both AD carries have played Varus the most in here for this one. So Fnatic obviously valuing that one, coming down for Pushu. Let's see what they add in here. That Thresh certainly wouldn't surprise me at this point of things for YellOwStaR.
The speed of the picks and bans here tells me a lot. These two teams are actually realizing what's at stake. This is coming into the last 2 weeks in the top of the league. This is the position that both of these teams have been looking towards. Fnatic, when they made the changes, this is what it was all about. Lemondogs, at the very start, we said these guys are little cocky guys, but sure enough, when they changed Mithy as their new man, and effectively, as you just heard them say, he's effectively the coach for him now. He's very vocal. Great to have a chat with, by the way, because you'll get a lot of information out of him. Not too sure that's good for the other teams, because he'll just give them everything and tell his story. But it's great to have a chat with, and he seems to have imparted a lot of knowledge onto Lemondogs and helped them really settle down in the league right now. There's the picks coming through, and again, Twisted Fate not been taken. So Fnatic have their final choice here. Will they go with him in the mid lane?
I'm not sure that they will with Lemondogs having that final pick. I think there are safer options here for Fnatic, you know, the likes of the Orianna maybe that Peke has brought to the table in here before. So we'll see about that one in just a second. And just to touch on the whole cockiness thing from Lemondogs, it's fine to be cocky if you can back it up. And that's what Lemondogs are doing right now. They could go top of the table. First time that we've ever seen anyone apart from Alternate at the top there. Gragas and Heimerdinger, I'm not sold on that just yet. I suppose Gragas is a very real possibility. Heimerdinger, I'm still not going to say anything about.
No, it's not going to happen. Maybe when the remake finally comes out soon.
TM.
Right, please. It will be coming, though. Don't worry, guys. 8 seconds to make the changes, so they're not going to get caught out by this one. Are they going to go with Kassadin? It hasn't been locked in yet. Gragas has been locked in, along with Karthus. sOAZ is at it again.
sOAZ is at it again, and you can see there, Mithy's like, well, I am now the coach for the team, apparently, elected into that role from my try-harding in scrims, are his exact words from that. So we'll see what they do with this one in terms of Gragas. Not expecting him to come in there with the Kassadin. The good thing is they can switch those two around pretty easily. And a Talon being locked in here for Lemondogs.
What?
Statistics. Out the window. Don't matter.
Tear that page out. This one's gone out the window. So we have Fnatic at it again, ladies and gentlemen. But Lemondogs have got thrown their own little flavor into it. What do we have? Things are going to swap around. It's going to be Peke on Kassadin in that mid lane. Of course, we're going to see Thresh as the support. Cyanide in the jungle. Standard champion for him. But sOAZ on Gragas in the top lane. Not a champion we've seen in the European LCS so far. This split in the top lane. I don't think we've seen him at all. We saw him at the All-Stars in the jungle from Insect. That was in the finals against China, but that's the last time we saw it. But Talon, have we seen a Talon so far in Europe? I don't even remember one in the spring, let alone in the summer. Suddenly there's another new champion being brought out. Talon versus Kassadin? Mine is blown right now.
Yeah, and it's great that week 7 of 9, where things are so close, we're seeing Gragas and Kassadin here for Fnatic, and a Talon being brought out on the table by the Lemondogs. And it's kind of unfortunate for us, not just for us as casters, but for everyone, that we don't know exactly every single champion that these people have been playing on, you know, under their real accounts, their alternate accounts, their in scrims and everything like that. Because this is obviously a champion that they've been practicing. You don't just go in there wildly with something like that. So, you know, Talon coming in, you see there sOAZ kind of grabbing his nose, and I think there's a little bit of confusion there from Fnatic's side as to, you know, this whole Talon pick and how that's going to work, who's going to be up against who. And from Fnatic's side, is it going to be Gragas or Kassadin up against this Talon? Both of them, in my opinion, early on could have a little bit of trouble against him.
Pretty sure it's going to be Nukeduck. It's one of the champions. It seems like a champion that he's been playing. He's obviously been playing a lot of Zed, which was banned out, so he loves the assassin-y type champions, and I would assume it will be him. We'll see, of course, once the game loads up ourselves, who it's going to be, because we didn't quite get a glimpse of the final bits. And there we go. You can see it on your screens. Or no, that's the next screen. I can't quite see it. Can't quite see it. But we are about to get into the game, ladies and gentlemen. If you've just joined us, this should be another stonker from Fnatic and Lemondogs. Lemondogs, you know, they're starting to slowly build a fan base. Fnatic have a huge fan base, of course. They will be starting out as the blue team, and it will be Nukeduck on Talent. And Zorozero will be back on Kennen. So Kennen will be running the top lane. We'll see how those lanes actually work out as well, because right now they're all over the place, and potentially a level 1 invade may be coming out from Fnatic.
And we'll see about that, all on that top side for now. And it does seem like they're at least going to go in there for early ward placement. If they go any further than that one, as we do see the flag being thrown down there for Dexter just to check out that bush on the top side of the river. But Fnatic have decided to back away from this one. They've only got wards with their support player YellOwStaR right now, so that's the one that we really have to watch out for if when it comes to ward placements. Fnatic just muscling their way in there, and say muscling with the in the lightest of terms, it's more like bellying in there with that Gragas in play these days.
Barreling their way through, and there could be another one in there, but yeah, we'll see how this one works out, of course. There's sOAZ with that teleport. Not too sure how much that's going to pay dividends. Of course, we've seen so many times Peke, of course, roaming around the map. The fact he's on Kassadin, expect to see him off the sides, potentially backdooring, of course, as he normally does. But this time he has gone with that Ignite, so not going to be quite up to his usual tricks that we did see before. Well, obviously, last time he was playing Kassadin in Katowice.
Yeah, that was something that one team in particular here in the LCS will be wanting to forget. But Fnatic are very determined here. They're like, we are invading. You're not going to be stopping us from this one. You see Lulu there and Caitlyn actually flash hook coming in, missing out there. Well, I say missing, mithy flashed away from it to make sure they didn't go down. They're sticking around for this one. We could see a fight breaking out. Fnatic concentrating on that red buff. They've got vision of them thanks to the flag going down there for that one. And there is a smite coming down. Actually finished off by Cyanide in the end.
Yeah, there's a miss smite there. Dexter came in, did it a little bit too early, and you can see they both used it out there, and Cyanide managed to catch it off at the end. sOAZ does teleport himself down to that bottom. He's not going to miss out on too much experience. Looks like Nukeduck has already put a rake down towards Peke, and he's starting to put the damage down. We'll see how these lanes progress because, well, everybody is switching roles, switching positions. Dexter already coming down, looking to try and counter and go for the red buff of his own in towards the Fnatic jungle.
Needs to be a little bit careful about that because Cyanide is going to be way out leveling when he comes down to this bottom side of the map. He's going to have Zorozero actually coming in now, so that's the backup that he really needs to get this red buff low, take it out. Of course, he's got no smite after that miss smite on his red buff. Cyanide is heading down there, but Dexter should have this red buff out of there before he can really do anything about it. There we go, finished off. Cyanide comes down, and he's going to see those little lizards returning to camp and be like, damn it, he got there too quick for me. And he's got that steal away. Cassidy actually coming down as well. I think they would just want to check that bush to make sure they weren't camping it out. Yeah,
they saw the little lizards running around, so they figured he must have been close by, but they had hit and run and got out in time. Of course, they haven't reset their own red buff either, so Dexter's going to have to go over and do that one, but he will be taking the blue buff. Smite back available, so no problems there. Everybody back into condition. As I say that, they actually both exhaust go down on towards mithy. A lot of pressure coming out. Puszu puts the piercing arrow, lands it on Tabzz this time around. YellOwStaR not done yet. Remember, he is an ex-aggressive AD carry. Could try and get in there. Lands the fly onto mithy. Gets another attack on towards him. That was a very even, tight trade between both the top laners.
Yeah, a scary one for both teams as well. And you see the pure skill coming out of these guys, knowing their limits right down to the the seconds of the auto attacks, going very low on both sides. Neither of them going down. Barriers wasn't used for either AD carry who were going low as well. So they know exactly what they're doing, how far they can push themselves and their opponents before they have to give it up.
Absolutely fantastic, fantastic stuff. Lemondogs all backing away, though, in that top lane. So, effectively, Fnatic won their trade. It's a moral victory. With double buffed up Dexter, just sat waiting in the wings to see if he can go on towards Peke, where the Peke steps a little bit too far forward. Nukeduck will be getting on towards him, silencing him, tries to stop him to get away from that one. Do put a good burst of damage, but look at that, turned it back around. Is there going to be enough? No, the minions, they couldn't quite take him down. Why did he not use the Ignite?
I don't think he... Well, he surely knew that that was going to go in there. The thing that he has is obviously that silence coming out from the cutthroat of the Talon, which probably was why he couldn't get that one quite down there. Now they're going to chase down onto Nukeduck here as we see that one coming in, and a flash over from Cyanide. Wow, he's going really deep with this one. Rake comes through, and Cyanide decides not to back through. Probably not the best decision he's ever made to go with that flash.
No, maybe nervous play from these two teams, both at the start here. sOAZ getting a little bit of an electric surge there from Zorozero. Zorozero keeping the pressure on towards him. How's it working out? You can see, obviously, Zorozero will be farming out pretty heavily well. He did get down here a little bit early, so he already had a 5 advantage before sOAZ even teleported to the lane. So I'm not surprised to see he's built that up by another 5, and he's going to run about 10 CS grown over him.
Yeah, and trying to continue to harass us. Another barrel not quite landing there on towards Zorozero. We'll see what he can do in this bottom lane, because Zorozero already pushing up against that turret. Going to keep the harassment down as much as he possibly can. There comes the belly flying out to make sure that he doesn't miss any of those creeps going forward. And, well, this lane, for me, shouldn't see a kill in it unless we end up getting those junglers getting involved down there. This top lane, though, might be somewhat different. We've already seen how close they've really run those health bars in the past. Right now, they've gone back to a little bit more passive, but the fact is that Tabzz, even though he went back there earlier, came back into the lane and managed to pick up a very healthy CS lead.
Yeah, he definitely built up a nice lead there as they backed off towards the lanes. They've both gone double Dorans, though. And again, in the mid lane, Dexter hanging, waiting. Teleport, flash not available for him. But Peke is about to hit level 6. Once he gets that, he'll be able to rift walk away from the danger. So they kind of need to put the pressure on him while that teleport, while the flash is down. But not going to fall for it. Quite happy to just farm up on lane. And ward placement coming out from Nukeduck to try and protect his bottom lane. Make sure that, to protect himself, I guess, a little bit, essentially. And that CS, well, it's going to be gained back up there. Fnatic zone out the rest of Lemondogs in the top.
So, after what was a bit of a hectic start with the whole invades going on and stuff, no early first blood. And, well, it's kind of what you'd expect here, because this is two teams who can go top of the table. The first time that we'll have a different leader other than alternate for the summer split here in the LCS Europe. And that just dictates the fact that no one wants to make any silly mistakes. And Therefore, playing a little bit more passive from things. We did see Dexter headed towards that top lane, but actually did recall after a little while waiting around, realizing that YellOwStaR and Puszu not going to go out too far from the safety of that tower.
Both mid liners just hit level 6 there, so ult is available. We'll see whether anyone goes aggressive. Nullsphere and Rake just traded back and forward. And actually, Nullsphere came out on top, it seems, for xPeke there, on towards Dexter, but he's just going to get that, chugged his final health pot as well, and he's just going to try and get all that back. sOAZ, meanwhile, he's actually leveling up barrel, I believe sOAZ was. So just keep your eyes on that. Yes, he has, sure enough, put 4 points into that. Into the queue, that is, by the way, if anyone wants to know how sOAZ works it in the, effectively the solo lane. Ult he used to clear the wave there, means he's going to back straight away.
Yeah, wanted to get that one done, getting himself home. Not the biggest of cooldowns anyway, so that'll be all fine. xPeke going to get the first blue buff of the game for him on its second spawn. And the beauty is that probably Nukeduck might not need that. We'll see how they actually go with it. Obviously, the cooldowns, and is a mana-based champion after all, so we'll see if they give that one over to Nukeduck, but definitely not as important, in my opinion, than it's going to be going over for xPeke.
Lemondogs just trying to freeze the lane up a bit further here. Tabzz was quite happily just tanking out the minions, and letting Fnatic maybe fight a little further, try and buy some time, possibly for Dexter to see whether he's going to come around for a gank in a bit. As it stands, though, blood buff is available, and I guess Dexter's probably just going to keep that for himself. I'm not too sure whether he'll give it across to Nukeduck. He doesn't really need it, but you never know. May well give it him nevertheless. The mid laners always like it.
Always a bonus for spamming the likes of that Rake out there and seeing what he can actually do. We can see that he's been scaling up his Rake first. That W got 4 points in there already. Now that's the way he's going with that one. At the moment, it is Dexter that's actually doing the blue buff, and Nukeduck is going to come over, so they will gift that one over on towards Talon.
Yeah, and sOAZ actually was just coming up to simply ward out, wasn't going for the steal. Long-range Rake from Nukeduck will manage to close that one out. I'm really impressed how well xPeke is actually fighting against this one. The fact that he started with the cloth, he knew he was going to be against Talon in this mid lane, and I'm wondering when it comes towards end game, Nukeduck's going to be focusing on Puszu, I would assume. sOAZ and xPeke, they're always the ones that are causing the harassment, so Puszu, I don't think he's actually going to be too worried about that, because YellOwStar's always going to be at his side, and Nukeduck's going to potentially have a tough job pinning him down. And
the thing is, with this cell that Lemondogs have got, you know, the Kennen, the Jarvan, the Talon even, going to be going right in there, and they've got such great dispersion and lockdown in fights. Fnatic from the barrel, obviously coming out of sOAZ to blow them away, for Cyanide to move them all out there. Then you've got the Chaining Corruption to single out with the hook. And now, that's going to, for me, make it harder for Lemondogs when we get to those team fights to really be getting on the target that they actually want, because of the disruption that Fnatic are running. As it seems now, though, we could be quite a way off from seeing any big team fights happening. No turrets down, no first blood, no dragon. It's a slow start to this one.
It's a slow start after a little bit of an invade, etc. that came out. There's a hook being flung out, so not for one to try in from the teams. They're certainly trying to create the opportunities. It's just that both of them have been overly cautious and not really letting anything slip. sOAZ does have Dexter waiting in the wings at the top there, in the bottom lane, sorry, which means he may well try and go for something, as is Cyanide. He's continuing the farm path. His farm is actually just cleared. No, it's a lie, the wolves just spawned, and sOAZ just dashes away.
Yeah, that's the thing, is Gragas, despite being the chunky man that he is, he's actually pretty mobile, obviously, with that body slam, or belly slam, as I'm going to petition it to be
quick for a big lad.
I think quick for a big lad.
Is what we'd say in England.
Yeah. He's certainly got the moves to be escaping from that one. He's doing a decent job here, but the fact is that Kennen, starting off Doran's Blade with those auto attacks, with the range that he's got, is building up a very healthy lead. 20 CS that he's got right now. About 300 gold for him. Between the AD carries as well, 85 to 100. So Tabzz is maintaining that lead that he kicked off with from the early levels.
Yeah, it's definitely kept it flowing, and Tabzz has actually done a great job at keeping that wave always up towards his turret. Doesn't want to press out from this one, don't want to go too aggressive, doesn't want to get caught out by anything. This time around, though, Dexter is waiting in the winds. He's just out the side of that tri-bush. They have a pink ward in the tri-bush, so they know that that's clear. They don't want to go in towards it because they know that YellOwStaR has just returned to lane with a pink of his own, so doesn't want to get spotted out just yet. And this may be, just maybe, where we're going to see the first point of action. We do see xPeke backing off. That hook didn't land. Almost certainly would have created the opportunity, but actually Dexter's backed off. He's doing the red buff right now, so we'll see whether he decides to return back to top lane.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I mean, junglers are being really quiet when it comes to the lanes. I mean, Dexter, we saw down in the bottom, tried a little bit, but not much going on from that one. Let's see then if we can get in. There's that ward down on the side. Of course, they've got vision control of the Tribush thanks to that pink ward, but I'm pretty sure that Fnatic are going to be able to just walk away from this one. And you can see that Dexter is taking a lot of time in from that one as he land the hook onto mithy. They see now Dexter coming around the side. Chain of Corruption put down from Puszu as mithy going to go in there, uses the ultimate on himself. YellOwStaR going to get locked up now inside of the Cataclysm. This should be first blood coming down, and it is going to go to Tabzz as Puszu starts to fight back with this one. They've actually flashed in, exhaust coming down, double kill now coming out as sOAZ throws the barrel down. That's going to get him one kill. Tabzz getting away with the net from the body slam, but the chance of him completely getting out, and no, he's not going to get away from it. We saw there xPeke going into mid. He did get the kill. I thought it was all over as he rift walks on top of the Caitlyn trap. Not to be though, and Fnatic managed to pick up 3 kills but lose their duo lane in the top.
Certainly wasn't expecting that trap, and instead Nukeduck though is going to try and come around. He's going to dive on towards Peke, throws out his ultimate, throws out the rake, but it's not going to be enough. Didn't get close. Peke managed to rift walk away the moment that silence finished off from the cutthroat. So while that all happened, Zorozero, of course, does put pressure on that bottom turret. That is going to be the counter effect of leaving your lane. sOAZ did get that double kill, and that's converting into getting the Morellonomicon and a blasting wand. He fell behind in terms of CS, but it doesn't matter now because those 2 kills just evened everything back up for him.
See, that's the thing with this Talon versus Kassadin. Cutthroat, even when you're leveling it up, it only increases the damage amplification that you get from it with every level, and not how long the silence is. So it's always 1 second, and the fact is Kassadin can always rift walk straight out of that one, of course, if he hasn't already used it before. So he should be safe in 1v1s from that one, as we do see Lemondogs picking up the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, Fnatic couldn't really fight for that one. Puszu was still in the top lane, but they're going to get the hook on towards Nukeduck. Have they got enough to finish him off? He's going to try and get away towards the blue buff. Yes, he does. Another great escape from Nukeduck here on day 2.
We should be singing a bit of an anthem for him in that one, the great escape, as he gets that blue buff once again. Peke and YellOwStaR quite deeply pushed up, but as sOAZ starts to come around the side here, they certainly got cover for that one. Can't quite finish off the ward that was put down, but they can finish off the first turret of the game in the top lane. Yeah, that was a worthy trade, and actually they just bought time for that one. Tabzz putting down the traps. Peke's like, I'm not going to get caught into that one. I'm not going to rift walk to this one again. So instead, they do lose the dragon, but they get first turret of the game, and effectively a fairly even trade. Also put pressure on that blue buff, and of course looking at the gold, you can see it is just 100 between them. So Fnatic looking like this middle turret now could be their next target of things as a hot comes through. Not quite got the range to grab in Dexter. Now it's going to be sOAZ versus mithy and Tabzz in this bottom lane. Throws out the barrel onto them. Not doing massive damage at this point. As you said earlier, Morellonomicon plus a blasting one now added into that one for Kennen, who got a 30 CS lead now. Needlessly large rod, haunting guys. He's going to be dangerous, but I'm interested to see how much of an impact he can have when these team fights come along with that dispersion that you get out of sOAZ and Cyanide's ultimates.
Absolutely. Peke is doing a different build. I say that. No, it's just simply counted it. I was going to say he hadn't got the tier, and then I just looked across and like, no, he did. No, he did get the tier. Of course he did. I thought for once maybe we're not going to see a tier of the goddess on a Kassadin, but sure enough it is. And actually with that kill early on, that's going to maybe get him rolling a little better than we have seen some Kassadins. sOAZ taking some good harass from Tabzz there, but just forces him back. Zorozero back in that top lane. Got himself that needlessly large rod now. He will keep pressure on him. Interested to see Puszu actually staying in this top lane, despite the fact they've already taken the turret. Now we're going to see Dexter going aggressive, Cataclysm on towards him. Hasn't got flash available, so well, Slicing Maelstrom's just going to cut through. Or is it Barrier? No. Dragon Strike comes out from Dexter and finishes the job.
And actually, the funny thing is that Zorozero wasn't doing any damage with his ultimate because he was out of range because of that Cataclysm. So not quite the perfect pairing there, maybe, but they got the kill. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Right now, we are seeing YellOwStaR actually coming down towards this bottom lane now for them, and probably wondering what happened to his AD carry. That's probably because you went to the bottom lane, YellOwStaR, that happened. I wanted to give sOAZ that backup, and now Peke's coming down. They look like they want to try and close in on mithy and Tabzz. Ward in the tri-bush as the hook misses. They're going to go in for this anyway. There's a wild growth down. mithy is going to be dead, or is he? He flashes over the wall. Peke will chase in there for the kill, but now Nukeduck and Tabzz both coming in for that one. They silence each other. sOAZ going to go over, but the ulti enough damage to catch him off.
Yeah, just caught him with the area effect there of that ulti. Very, very close though. Thought he got away with that one with the teleport. The belly slam through the wall. It feels a bit weird calling the belly slam going into the water. I don't know, belly flop, perhaps. Puszu keeping Zorozero at bay in this top lane, and he's just keeping them off. And that I was strange decision for me for Puszu to stay in that top lane as he did when he got caught out. Obviously, Fnatic were trying to buy time to push and try and get aggressive on that bottom, but look at this in the middle lane. Dexter's coming in again.
Yeah, going in on towards Cyanide, the easier target of the two. Nukeduck actually finishing that one off with the rake. He got knocked away by the ultimate, but they picked the target perfectly for me there. Obviously, Kassadin, no point in even trying to lock him down because he's going to get away with that rift walk. They picked off Cyanide. Nice free kill almost there for Lemondogs, and now they're pushing this mid turret.
Well, Pushu's doing a good job of trying to keep them away, clearing out the waves. He's just got one more minion there, which is why you see them having to back off from that one. The shield will be enough to prevent the tower damage, but at the bottom turret, sOAZ doing work on that one. And Fnatic look like they may get themselves another turret. As I say that, Zorozero comes out. He'll clear out the wave. They are fighting tooth and nail for every single objective.
Yeah, it's a very, very close game. The gold doesn't really represent that. Zorozero, you're going to get locked up. He's going to put his ultimate down, but Gragas has got the barrel available. It's going to knock him straight back into them. YellOwStaR almost died because he's like, whoa, sOAZ, calm down. Nearly killing me in that one, but they managed to get away. The ignite damage not enough, and that's another kill back for Fnatic. The tower going to go as well.
I mean, would it be, whoa, sOAZ, calm down? It would be something in French, I don't know, maybe between. It's a French lane
Sacre
in that
bleu.
Sacre bleu. And then they managed to back away, merci. But it's about the extent of our French.
Good old English guy speaking French.
Oh, nevertheless, it is going to be the mid lane cleared out, and Fnatic do have the advantage right now in terms of turrets, but the gold advantage is still with Lemondogs. It's just 1,000 gold in their favor. The dragon will be up in 40 seconds, and sure enough, everybody is going to step away and maybe start preparing for that one. Lemondogs still sticking around in this mid lane. YellOwStar's been throwing out those flash hooks. Let's see whether he's going to do it again here, or throughout the dark passage he's expecting to launch someone in instead. I think it was just more trying to be defensive there. It's like, I can put the lantern out, someone will come. Someone will come and help me. Back away from this turret, you pesky mid laners. I was trying to think of the nation, I can't think where they're from.
Yeah, didn't quite work out since one of them is Dutch and one of them is Spanish.
That's the one, yeah.
Kind of hard to lock them down in one term. But yeah, I mean, just trying to get the shield off it there, and as you said, maybe they put that doubt into their mind that something might come flying their way. Gragas, for example, would be scary flying your way with the belly slam going on as well. Dragon started off here, and Fnatic got the position on him, but you can see they're not comfortable with this one because Gragas on the top side, sOAZ doesn't have his teleport available. Doesn't want to get caught out here. That could be dangerous.
No, he's going to roll out the barrel. Does manage to find out Zorozero. Doesn't explode it on him though, but Fnatic now with that 5-man defense, are they going to try and clear out the sides? Lemondogs tried to force a wave of siege minion in towards that, try and put pressure onto the turret. Fnatic quickly defending it, and we're going to have a little bit of a dragon dance here. Well, Dragon Tamer mithy may be able to help out in that one, but he's been setting up the plays so far, using that wild growth on himself. I don't think I've seen it used on anyone else yet. A little bit selfish, maybe, just maybe, but he's been setting up the plays, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, he did well in that one. The first one we saw him do it actually was in that top lane, which was a great move. You know, he actually flashed in there, wild growth himself to get to the knock-up. It's kind of like an unstoppable force, but a little bit weirdly done for a bit more in terms of your summoner spells as well. But Lemondogs here, they're going to pull out Dragon. It's going to be like, nope, I want to go back. Not quite got it tamed just yet, Mithy. But Fnatic are coming in from the side from this one. Cassidy on the top, and, well, they threw everything at it, but Dexter this time will be on point with the smite as they go in towards Peke. Peke just rift walks away from that one. Barrel coming out. Dexter is low. Needs to get away. Gets a wild growth, and now they've caught Peke. Nukeduck going to get on top of him for this one. Another silence coming down, and, well, you can't really do a lot with that talent if you're going to get silenced up. But Mithy out of position. sOAZ will pick that one up.
Well, it was an Oracle caught out, but of course we are in 3.9 now, so that will persist through death. But nevertheless, it was a kill for a single dragon. And, well, honestly, Lemondogs are still looking good. They're still putting pressure in that mid lane. Peke, he tried to get around the side. He tried to do the damage, but the combo of Tabzz and Nukeduck just wrecked him, and he had no chance of getting in to do any damage at all. Puszu is doing the picking up the wraiths there, but Nukeduck, look at that. He's heading straight down the bottom. sOAZ has got to be careful here.
Yeah, I think so as well. That ultimate going to be coming off cooldown in just a second for Nukeduck. Got no ignite right now, but he's going to go in towards him. There is sOAZ going to body slam his way back towards the turret, but look at the damage coming out there. Almost all of it going and getting the kill, but sOAZ turning things around now. Pushu coming in, the chain of corruption was used. sOAZ has the barrel and he's got flash. Is he going to trust himself to flash barrel, which for me always goes horribly wrong, and in the end decides, you know what, let's not do that.
No, didn't go for it. He did have the backup of Pushu, and if that chain of corruption would have landed, I'm pretty sure Nukeduck would have dropped from it, but instead, wise to back away. Of course, Mithy's still with that Oracle on him. He's going to continue clearing out all of those wards that Fnatic have placed around there to try and help out in that fight. But farm-wise, Nukeduck is still keeping a good, sizable step, and now that the fact Black Cleaver has been completed along with Last Whisper and Brutalizer, he's going to be doing a hell of a lot of true damage. Yeah, it's going to be scary. That, I mean, he's already, as you said, at 2 for 0, and that ultimate on such short cooldown as well makes him really hard to lock up inside of the fight. The good thing from Fnatic's side, though, they got the Zhonya's already finished for sOAZ on Gragas, and, well, Peke not too far away either. Got that Seeker's Arm Guard in, did finish off the Rod of Ages as a matter of priority to get that one stacking up, as there's a Lantern thrown over. Not quite able to be getting Mithy as he goes there. Yeah, I thought best of not hooking him straight in there. Didn't really have any support or help to try and get the damage down. Cyanide's just the man that's been fighting out that mid lane, building up towards the Aegis Legion. You can see that Dexter's already got that, so Runic Bulwark will be picked up by both junglers, as is Standard. Just popped into view right there as Dexter goes back to buy it. Let's have a look across everyone else. sOAZ, he's got himself that Zhonya's, so expect to see him being a little bit more aggressive. There's the barrel straight away on Tabzz. Not going to land it this time. No, not quite. Funnily enough, hit the Q after all that onto him. They look like they want this turret away, but Lemondogs are pretty much saying no to that one. They've got a lot of people in that immediate area. Talent trying to get in from the side, and that's where he's going to become most dangerous here, Nukeduck. Said it before, he likes to play those assassin champions. Zed has been his most recent success, and now Talent, similar thing to that one going in as well. So we'll see how he's able to get in from the fight. You can see him again just positioned down to the right. They're going to try and get in here from the side. They spot Nukeduck coming in, and Fnatic back off. Yeah, just waiting to try and land that perfect Cataclysm. We saw him doing it before. It seemed to be on permanent cooldown yesterday every time they were up against that. In fact, I tell a lie, it was EG that were having to... No, it was SK Game, and it was Dexter doing it onto Ocelot all the time. Seemed to just permanently be on cooldown. So he seemed to do very well in it yesterday. It is available, and if he goes in, there's not too many flashes available from Fnatic right now, so he could land it. Great. Oh, he got interrupted straight away. Does manage to get it down, but Pushu's already taken the turret down. That was the defensive capabilities that Lemondogs were trying to keep in support. Dexter taken so low. Nukeduck comes around the side, doesn't manage to find anyone with his ultimate there. Now he gets exhausted. He's going to get caught out. Hail of Arrows slows him down. Belly Slam slows him once again. And Fnatic pick up yet another kill. It was a 2-for-1 and a turret. Good fight for Fnatic. 2-for-1 turret, and they got Mithy really, really low from that one, which means they could have probably pushed a little bit out further on towards that inner turret, but Tabzz, obviously with a Bloodthirst, are going to be healing himself right back up off the Wolves to get back into the fight. So no risks here for Fnatic. They're happy with a 2-for-1 and a turret. That's those small steps to the greater good of winning a game, I guess we can say. So in terms of gold, it is actually still an advantage for Lemondogs because they are still keeping ahead. They've got good farm going. You can see the mid laners, they're a haze ahead. The top lane, well, it's pretty much closed the gap. And, you know, remember that sOAZ was a long way behind Zorozero. Yeah. The fact that he is 4-1 up also gives him that 400 gold advantage. 4-1-3 now, in fact. 3-0. And actually just mentioning that itself, the top laners and the mid carry, sure enough, sOAZ and xPeke, they're the ones with the gold. They always are, and it always works out for well for Fnatic when they are. So this is potentially becoming a dangerous situation for Lemondogs, because every time Nukeduck's tried to pop that Shadow Assault, trying to get those kills, it's just not quite working out. He got out towards sOAZ. He's the only person to take him down so far. But as xPeke starts to get stronger and stronger and stronger, and of course sOAZ with that teleport, they're going to be looking to roam. They're going to be looking at starting that standard Fnatic split push.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that one. That's what they're going to get going. And you just have to wonder who's going to be able to stop that one here. There's no teleport whatsoever. There's nothing really to solidly counter that one coming out, because sOAZ himself, you know, he's going to be clearing out waves pretty quick with the body slam and his Q, the barrel. He can do that himself and then just teleport straight into the fight, and Lemondogs are going to have to be forced to deal with that at some point, as mithy are battling against the the timer on that ward just about gets it away. And we are going to see Dragon coming up, so this is the next big fight coming around here. As I said, sOAZ is at the top and he has teleport, so let's see if he gets involved.
Let's see if he comes down here. There's a good ward to teleport in. He is coming around the side. He's going to take the Dragon already. Belly slams through. Is it going to be enough to catch on towards Dexter? You bet your life it was. There's going to be Chain of Corruption popping on him. Is it going to spread? No. He actually manages to get away from this one. And Zorozero with a good slice in Maelstrom hasn't got a Sonya's Hourglass, so couldn't survive through the fight. But it's a good turnaround here. It's a very close fight, and Fnatic actually got to be careful now, because Nukeduck's coming back into the fray. YellOwStaR taking very low off the side. He gets dropped. Whoa. Double kill comes out from Nukeduck as the just rakes his way through the rest of their team. There's the triple, and as I said, you got to be careful. The moment that xPeke got taken down off the side, sOAZ rolls out the barrel and catches Dexter, turns it to a 4-on-2 in favor, but nevertheless, Lemondogs also got the Dragon. Big win for them.
Yeah, big win that fight, and Gold showing that as well here. And as you said, Nukeduck causing so many problems, chasing down the Kassadin out of the fight. That's a big portion of damage out of it for Fnatic. And then coming in from the side, and that's where these assassins really excel, when they come in and you don't expect them to go down. Obviously, you can use that Shadow Assault to take that, the stealth to come right in from it, and you just kind of like, oh wow, Nukeduck's right on top of us right now, and there's not a lot we can actually do about it. Good thing is, I suppose, that Oracles persist now through death, so you're always, if you've got an Oracle, going to have vision of him. But, well, they last a little bit less this time, and, well, they're not exactly cheap if you have to keep buying them.
No, and especially when, well, generally the supports have to buy them. They have both got Philo Stones, though, so they can at least get a little bit of a gold ticking, but it's 3-3 in turrets, so not a great deal of global gold, global presence come down from that to help out those supports to keep on buying those Oracles. You can see YellOwStaR and mithy's had one pretty much the whole time. A lot of wards actually placed out from Fnatic in the top river this time around. You can see them all laid out towards that Baron, so maybe expecting Lemondogs to try to push for that. I'm not too sure still who has the strongest team presence in terms of fights. In terms of split fights, Lemondogs almost certainly, and Zorozero, now with that Sonya's Hourglass complete, will be a real pain in the backside for Fnatic, because you saw how well he placed that slicing Maelstrom in the last fight. It was all over them. They did finally take him down, but not before it finished off.
So, let's have a look then at the positions of both teams right now, because you can see there are a lot of wards down from the middle by Fnatic. Lemondogs obviously not feeling too comfortable about where they are in the game at this point. I mean, 3-3 in turrets, 10-10 in kills. They've obviously knowing that they're going to have that slight advantage because they've had the better Dragon control out of these two teams, plus the fact that, well, AD carry 50 CS in the head, in the lead, 60 CS in that middle lane. Funnily enough, sOAZ is just about to even that one up now in the top as well. So they know that they've got that advantage, but they're obviously not feeling super confident about the position that they're in to keep chasing through. And then you see the piercing arrow doing a lot of damage down onto Tabzz. And Fnatic have got good waves, good ways to clear out those waves here as well and poke back onto Lemondogs when they start to push.
You've got to remember, though, the start of that big fight that happened, sOAZ had used his ultimate just on Dexter.
Yeah.
Hadn't used it on any of the carriers, so that weapon will be available next time around. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to go into that bush either. The moment he does manage to put that ward back on top, he will clear out. It's a proper ward fight going on here between these two carriers as support carriers, maybe, who knows. We haven't got Edward here anymore, so maybe we've got to find a new one here in Europe. But sOAZ, as you mentioned, that farm is keeping up on top of him. He has got that Rabadon's Death Cap along with the Zonyas, so 3 Zonyas now on the map, actually. And that's going to be some little trolley fights. But this one could be a bad one.
Yeah, Peke gonna just face check straight into that one here. Gonna get silenced up. Will Rift walk away? But problem is Nukeduck gonna continue through? Decides against it in the end, which kind of surprised me because that Raycon's super cool, super low cooldown, and he's got a lot of damage coming out. I think he could have probably finished that one off.
Yeah, I was just wondering if he was going to go in for it, but he hadn't really got great vision. He just got that one ward up towards the red buff, so he kind of knew he'd got a little bit of alone time with Peke, and seemed to work out well for him in the bush, but unfortunately for him, he didn't quite have the damage, which is surprising when you look at his items.
Yeah, not quite. And alone time in the bush with Peke, so a lot of people are killed for that, I'm sure. We see more wards being cleared out by Mithy. As I say that, he actually just completely misses that one. There it is, Mithy.
Oh,
good job.
Go.
And he gets it just in time, getting that ward picked off in the end. But missing the one right on top of Baron, funnily enough, after all that. So, Fnatic coming out of the base. There's the Caitlyn line defense set up, which Fnatic say, nope, we're going to clear that one straight out. Cyanide actually taking hits from the side, and look at Nukeduck, he's going to go in here. They're going to go for sOAZ. He's used his Zonias to try and negate all that damage. Mithy getting a lot back as well, and in the end, a lot used, but no kills resulted.
And again, you saw the damage that Nukeduck can do. It's a scary, scary thing. YellOwStaR has to use the boxing defensive formation there. Zorozero didn't go aggressive. There's everything still available, really. Only thing was used by Lemondogs there was simply Nukeduck's ultimate, and that's almost off cooldown already. Yeah. Fnatic had to throw everything just to help them escape.
Yeah, not got much cooldown on it, that's for sure. As Lemondogs looking like they want to try and get into that blue. As, wow. Well, that's one way to do it, I suppose. So I just throwing the barrel over. As there you go, Peke, no problem. I'll help you out with that one. And he will just be headed back home anyway to be picking up Sorcerer's Shoes after that little thing. You see a couple of pink wards being picked up as well around the map for Fnatic, so they're going to want to get all this vision back on Baron. Mithy doing a good job earlier on with this Oracle, getting things done. He's built now up that Chalice. See where he goes next with that. Nukeduck pushing out that bottom lane as well. Fnatic look like they might want to try and capitalize on him being down there.
Yeah, and they are, again, this is what worked out, or not worked out for them last time. They are going to finally get the Chain of Corruption on Dexter. They get the knock-up, they get the play, they take him down. Slicing Maelstrom across everyone. Pulse that Zonias is going to be able to get away from this one. YellOwStaR taking low, that's going to be the ace in the hole. It got through! I don't believe it. Nukeduck gets in there, gets himself a double kill. Puszu taking low. One Shuriken will finish that one off. Tabzz managed to get the shot in instead, and Mithy comes in. Even Mithy going aggressive on Peke there. It's another 3 for 1, and Lemondogs are starting to come out really good in these team fights.
Yeah, 3 for 1, really strong finisher to that one. And again, Nukeduck was down at the bottom. Fnatic want to use that time that they've got, but they were a little bit slow. Nukeduck came up there again, attacked them from the side, and was able to pick up more kills. Now sat at 7-1-1 with a 40 CS lead. Items, he's almost approaching a 6-item build at this point, and now he's probably going to be going home here with a lot of gold to spend as well. So see what he actually adds in from this one. Right now, sat on a pretty devastating combo already.
Yeah, just went to see. He's actually waiting for a gold tick, I think, to come in there. He's just saying, I'll be with you in a minute. It's going to be a Hex Drinker. Why not? Of course, he's up against double AP, so he needs to just help him out, give him that little bit of a shield when he requires it. And again, Dexter, he was the man, he was the creator. He dove in there, selflessly died in the act, and pretty much Fnatic threw everything at him, and then the rest of the team just came in and said, all your abilities are on cooldowns, and now Nukeduck's just going to wipe the floor with you, and it's working wonders for him. But it's a danger. It's a danger for Lemondogs, because if Nukeduck gets singled out, he manages to put one little misstep and gets taken down early on, where else is that damage going to come from? Will it come from Tabzz? Well, of course, once Nukeduck goes down, he's almost certainly going to be the next focused target. So, Lemondogs still have to approach this one carefully. They're not home and clean just yet, because despite the fact they've won the last 3 team fights and they have that 6,000 gold lead, Fnatic still have a good team fight presence.
Yeah, this one really balancing, to be honest, on a knife edge. Neither team really feels that massive confidence, although you can see it building with Lemondogs. They're not scared to get stuck in when they feel that primarily Dexter, I think, has a good start to things going in. And we should probably mention the wild growth, something that Mithy's used brilliantly up until this point, which I think gets overlooked just for the fact that it's not the most visible thing happening in those team fights. As Dexter goes in once again there, slides out, didn't quite get the knock up on towards sOAZ, but Nukeduck waits again off towards the bottom side. He's going to try and trap Fnatic out of it.
He's a sneaky, sneaky little assassin, Nukeduck, and he keeps, like you say, just coming in as the fight starts out, and that's the beauty of Lemondogs right now, because Dexter's thrown himself in there selflessly. Zorozero puts the Zhonya's Hourglass and the Slicing Maelstrom across them, and it's just buying all that time for Nukeduck. Look at him, he's just off of the Wraiths, he's below, he's sat ready and waiting, like a true stealth assassin, ready and waiting to dive in, while Fnatic actually finally spots him out. Pekka's like, whoop, hang on a minute. What are you doing around here? Back away, everyone, and they do step off that mid. So Lemondogs have a good team fight and a good initiate, and it seems to be working well for them so far.
Yeah, and I think Fnatic can still win these fights, but it's all about the ultimates and getting them in the right position at the right time. They have to get those, you know, the cannon, the Talon that go straight in on top of them. They need to push them back out of these fights to be able to single out the targets that they want to take down. So it's still a very tough call, because Lemondogs' positioning is what's really been winning them these last fights.
Yeah, and it's causing problems for Fnatic, because, as you saw, they just had that standoff in the mid, and they realized we can't actually force Lemondogs back right now. They don't seem to be stepping away from this one. They don't seem to be backing away like they were, and now it's gone. Everyone's gone back to clearing the waves, picking up the buffs. Do you see Nukeduck doing there? Going to keep his cooldowns low. Why not? Because he is the main killer. He is the main damage threat right now, and he's causing so many problems. Peke not really been able to quite get going. He's at 4-1-0. Great score nevertheless for Kassadin, but every time he goes in there, he has this ninja up his backside.
And he's not in pajamas.
He's not in pajamas,
not
no.
today.
It's just a robe.
Just a lovely robe. A deadly robe, as it has been so far, I think we can say. And just continuing with that one, up to 311 farm right now, which I give it to Peke. He's actually got back into that one very well. I think last time I talked about him was 60 CS, the actual difference between them. Same thing goes for sOAZ, who's actually in the lead right now. Is clear out of Baron Pit here for Lemondogs. Are they going to actually think about starting things off? Fnatic are stood on top of a ward. Mithy's just headed over towards the blue buff side of things, and they're trying to outposition them once again. Yeah, blue buff up, but look at sOAZ. He's managed to get himself in this bottom lane. They will be losing out the blue buff. They're not too overly worried about that one, because sOAZ is buying time. Ace in the hole will land on YellOwStaR. Not too... Oh, throws out the hook towards Nukeduck. Nukeduck just gets defended off that piercing arrow. Doesn't land. sOAZ is going to take down that top inner turret. The rest of Fnatic are going to continue pushing forward for this one, but Lemondogs, they're not going to let them lie. They're going to drive them in towards that side. Look at Dexter. He's going to come down from the top. They're going to try and sandwich him. Can he get the Cataclysm in the right place? This is very, very dangerous as Peke actually goes in towards Nukeduck, and that's the time to do it. Get the big silence, as it really is, off onto him there, as we do see the Cataclysm come down. Dexter takes a lot of damage, but here comes Kennen. Wild Growth comes down as well. Fnatic being melted, and there's Nukeduck diving in on top of them. Puszu going low. They'll actually die off in the end, and Peke finds himself as the last man left alive. Only one man down here for the Lemondogs. Ace in the hole. Zhonya's sneaky, sneaky. Oh, he's got away from it. Riftwalk there straight after, and in the end, Lemondogs saying, you know what? You go back, Peke. We've had enough of chasing after you. We're going to push this advantage. They're going to try and go. Are they going to go for the inner turret? Will they go for Baron? No. Yes, it is going to be Baron. They're going to run towards it. Have they got time? That's the question, because Dexter's pretty low. Peke's going to come back. He's got them home guard boots on him now, so he's going to be coming back very quickly to this Baron, and he is going to be a sneaky threat. Hasn't got flash available, but the Riftwalk in there and a Force Pulse will do a lot of damage to anyone trying to get around that Baron. He might try and put damage on towards Tabzz. Takes, look at that, a third of the health off him as well, but it was a good combo trade for Tabzz as well. Yeah, he's got that Blood Twister in there. He's quite happily just getting that life steal back in there to keep him going. Baron is very low, but both Dexter and Mithy are not super healthy at this point. There comes Zorozero, and the Baron will be picked up by the Lemondogs. Yeah, they couldn't afford to wait just those extra 3 seconds for Nukeduck to spawn, so Nukeduck didn't get that, but they managed to get it nevertheless, and that's a
Good turnaround. So that's 4 team fights now running that Lemondogs have won out, and won out convincingly this time around. So it is big danger signs for Fnatic here. Both teams, remember, fighting for first place here in the Summer LCS coming into week 8. Just 2 weeks will remain, and whoever can keep that hold of that first place will get themselves that bye along with second place. So there is a lot up for grabs for this match right now.
Dragon here being started by Fnatic. Can't see Lemondogs getting in for that, but they might go for it anyway. Dexter just walks around the corner to a bit of a burst coming out as they go in towards YellOwStaR. Will flash away from that one, but they've managed to catch Puszu. There's a focus down on towards Nukeduck, though. Already used his ultimate in that one. The Cataclysm's down, but not sure that they're going to follow off. Now that they've separated Fnatic out, they pick up the kill onto YellOwStaR. xPeke going to get knocked in the air. Another Rift Walk comes out for him as there's a speed up on towards Dexter, who's desperately trying to get in. Silence comes out, slow from Forceful. Dexter gives it up again.
Yeah, and now they've actually killed out sOAZ as well. They've figured where he's going. Tabzz was chasing him down, but he's got the call out from the team. sOAZ looks like he's going to push on towards that middle inner turret, while the rest of Lemondogs, they go down towards the bottom inner of their own. So they're going to try and work both of these down. Can Fnatic defend it out, though? That's the question. Puszu coming in. They're not going to hold out this one. And look, Nukeduck's gone back. Nukeduck will stop sOAZ's pressure, and that will give Lemondogs another advantage. A sloppy team fight this way from Fnatic. They're starting to feel the pressure, and sOAZ is like, screw that, not messing with that little ninja.
Nah, not going to hang around for that one. You know, he's got the Zhonya's available, but honestly, don't want to use it. I mean, he's pretty far in his item build right now. Got more farm than his mid laner, and you can see that in the items there going forward. Looking very strong, but it's all about positioning once again. That Fnatic have not been able to single out the right targets, not really been able to stop the damage coming in from all those sources. And the fact is that Tabzz now, with that Infinity Edge, with the Bloodthirst, the Phantom Dance, the Last Whisper, he is doing so much damage at the back of these fights that Fnatic, they're struggling to, I think, pick out a real target for where they're going, because they're scared of the go-ins of the Kennen, of the Talon, but they also need to realize that the Tabzz on Caitlyn is absolutely wrecking them at the same time.
Well, Lemondogs need to take a little step back right now, because they're kind of short on ward placement, so you have to go back and get some wards to place down, get some good vision of Fnatic, because let's not rule Fnatic out of this just yet. The gold advantage is just coming up to 8,000, which is big in itself. But this is Fnatic. Fnatic have turned this around a number of times. Lemondogs, though, looking fantastic so far, and Nukeduck really leading the charge. So many times at the start of the season, we talked about Nukeduck was the hero, the leader of the team, and really was the man that, honestly, at DreamHack, everyone was cheering. But since then, the likes of Zorozero and Tabzz definitely come into their own. Dexter's grown in that position since we saw him at Dragonborn's last spring split. And Mithy, since Mithy's joined there, it really has seemed to glue the team together. And it's just bought Nukeduck the time to just free roam once again. And as he pulls out Talon, the first one we've seen in the Summer LCS, it's working brilliantly.
Yeah, so good for them at this point. There's a blue buff for xPeke once again. Not sure what the Lantern was all about. I think YellOwStaR just a little bit bored there, wondering when does the next bit of action come up that I can actually be involved in. So right now he's just picking up the souls from wherever he can. As they back away. So let's have a look at some of the items. As I said earlier on, we were already approaching those 6 item builds. I see Mikhail's Crucible in here now for Mithy as well. So he's going to be able to cleanse off one of his teammates. Always great to have that. More Malmortius was added in a little bit earlier on for Nukeduck as well. On the other side, Rabadon, Zefcat, Rod of Ages, that Zhonya's in there. And obviously Kassadin only really got 2 slots to be finishing off here as well.
Absolutely. Moment, Fnatic, they're kind of just in defensive formation. Of course, the Baron, it's timing out, so they don't want to go for anything aggressive. Nukeduck didn't have it at the start, but the rest of them have lost that Baron buff. But it's going to be another inner turret being taken by Lemondogs. Fnatic are looking at to fight for this one. I'm not too sure it's the right choice to make. Look at Nukeduck poised off at the right-hand side, ready and waiting to go for this one. They did defend it. Still down at half health, but Lemondogs have not stepped away. They're merely trying to bait the rest of Fnatic to try and push out and see if they can catch anyone in their web.
They're going to push out this mid lane as well, so they're definitely closing in on the Mia. As the wards get put over the top, they actually pinged where Nukeduck was on that earlier little push onto the turret, so they know that he's going to be just waiting on the side of things to jump straight over the wall and blow someone up. But the problem that they're finding right now is that Fnatic are not really willing to give up any ground here. They're defending everything that they can.
Yeah, they're just not backing away though either. That's the problem. Neither team want to step down. Nukeduck did get caught. He's going to use a bit of lifesteal. YellOwStaR's coming around the side, actually bringing Peke in. They tried to hook onto Nukeduck there, tried to assassinate him. They realize they have to focus on him. sOAZ does get caught out. He manages to belly slam out of it. Cyanide was locked up, and again, Lemondogs ace in the hole coming out. sOAZ has to block that one, but that's going to buy the time for Lemondogs to get the tower down. Chain of Corruption came out. A lot of ultimates used. They catch on towards Zorozero. They do manage to finally get themselves a kill, but is it too little too late? Mithy now getting caught out. Peke putting the combo down onto him. He's struggling to level him down. Does manage to get himself a second kill. They're going to continue chasing. Nukeduck is still pretty low here. He's going to come in. He's trying to assassinate. Uses his ultimate. Does manage to get YellOwStaR down, but is it to the detriment? No, because Tabzz comes around. That's going to be a third kill for Peke, but now Tabzz focuses on towards him. Zhonya's Hourglass comes out. Cyanide's doing work on towards him. Peke riff walks away, and now Cyanide in trouble. He's waiting for his combo. He's going to riff walk back in and force pulse on towards them. There it is. Tabzz taken low. Not low enough, because he turns around, puts the shot down, and the double threat combo of Dexter and Tabzz works wonders and picks up the ace.
And that's exactly what I was talking about just a couple of moments earlier there with Tabzz, that he's such a high damage threat right now. He's healing pretty much. He's healing back faster, I think, than Peke can really burst him down from that one. Again, brilliant micro play coming out of him, and Lemondogs going to try and push this advantage. They've got 28 seconds until the AD carry and Gragas come back into this one, so this should be an inhibitor in the top lane.
Absolutely. There's the turret gone down. Tabzz should be able to work this one. He's got enough time. It's a 3 seconds, but it's only going to be YellOwStaR spawning, so he's not going to be able to force Tabzz away, because you just saw he's actually not scared of Peke. He's quite happy to try and go up against him. Remember, this is a former mid laner, so he knows the exact mechanics that Cassin is going to have. He knows how much of a burst and how much the cooldowns are going to be on right now. So he knows how much, the fact that he's going to get burst probably about half his health, but he's going to get it all back in lifesteal in that time. sOAZ, though, with the home guard boots, teleport, trying to go into Tabzz, took the wrong turn, comes in. They do manage to get the belly slam down, but look at the damage already turning back around. He's just hit. He's gone down like roadkill.
Yeah, no problem there for Tabzz. He's like, well, okay, you come in, focus me, rest of the team are there, and look at him, healing up 100 plus 40, one after another, and they're going to be taking away a Baron here. Fnatic sat back from it, know that they can't really get involved, and Lemondogs can go straight back in on the offensive, and Tabzz must have so much gold right now, it's not even funny.
And look at the Guardian Angel on Nukeduck now. That's a scary, scary thing. He's at 10-3-3. Ace in the hole comes out, puts a dent in Cyanide's back armor, and now it is going to be Lemondogs with that singular minion. They're going to tank it up. They're going to go in towards that middle turret. That's going to get stripped down very quickly. Dexter trying to lock up. It was Peke just off the side, but they are driving their way through. They're going to go for their second inhibitor turret, and I don't think Fnatic have got anything to stop them.
Well, we're going to find out here, because they're either going to fight or completely have to give this one up here. And I'd imagine fight is the way that they might go for this one. Try and get someone hooked in, but turret actually is going to go down. They go towards YellOwStaR. We see the Shirelia's being used there by YellOwStaR, but he's got dead man. Tabzz taking him down. He is now godlike, and there is inhibitor number 2 going down for the Lemondogs.
Well, Peke was simply a spectator at the side there. He was just hovering around the side of the map, just waiting to bide his time, but he just never came. Nobody was really available, and with sOAZ already being going down towards the Baron, it was simply a 4-on-5. They were just onlookers as they lost their second inhibitor turret. And statistically speaking, you don't come back from a second inhibitor going down too often. It is a very, very rare occurrence, but it's Fnatic. It's Fnatic after all, the backdoor kings. I'm not really seeing an opportunity to backdoor. That's the problem right now. There's only that bottom wave. That's the lane they're going to be looking at, but that's the lane that Lemondogs are now going down to push.
So, I don't know if you were watching there, but Tabzz went back, sold his boots, bought a Banshee's Veil pretty much outright, and bought the Zephyr in there as well. So, you know, he's at full build right now, and we just saw what he can do, almost up at 400 CS at this point of the game. Pretty scary stuff. They need to lock that Caitlyn down. They've got the Mikhail's Crucible to, you know, remove that CC from him as well when that comes in. Really, really hard for Fnatic to come back from this game. Now, I think it's going to have to be, we have to fight here and hope that something happens to them once this Baron buff's actually gone down, because any other way I don't see them actually been able to do right now. I think the Lemondogs are too strong for them.
And it's the standard way that it goes. Nukeduck was really the threat, the pressure, 10-3-3. But look at Tabzz now. We've hit the 50-minute mark. The AD carries become effectively gods at this stage. And like you mentioned, with that 6-item build, he's at 9-1-11. He's absolutely dominant. He's putting so much pressure down. Cyanide just a quick burst combo, taken down to a third health, has to back away. sOAZ caught out. Zorozero 0 point damage on him. He's down to half health. He managed to take a pill over Peacemaker. He has to back out. It's only a 3-man defense now for Fnatic on this turret. They could effectively go in and tank it.
Yeah, and I don't think they're too far away from being in that position either, as Tabzz does take a piercing arrow, but as I said, and a lifesteal that one all back up very, very quickly. Meanwhile, the super minions are coming in onto the Nexus turret, so Fnatic have had to back off for them once. There goes the force push, throwing through. Cyanide dives in. He's finished off by Tabzz, and everything really missing. Dexter gets himself right into the middle of them as well. And with that one kill, taking down Cyanide, 70 seconds pawn time, acing the whole sneak through. sOAZ tries to block it with his belly. That didn't work out. Pushu's right back there. Now they focus down on towards sOAZ. That was an interesting choice to put the Cataclysm down. Doesn't really matter though. Lemondogs are going to push them through. A barrel comes out from sOAZ in the end. They go towards Zorozero, stuns up xPeke. He will Zhonya's right on the side of the fountain, but Tabzz is hammering away on the Nexus, and the Lemondogs are going to take down Fnatic and go top of the table here in the summer split in the European LCS.
What a fantastic performance it is for the Lemondogs. They said it at the start of the season when they qualified 3-0 against all authorities. They said, we are going to finish top of the league, and coming into week 8 they will be top of the league. Fantastic. They've snuck under the radar, effectively just winning, chipping away at teams, picking up victories. They're now 2-1 against Fnatic, who themselves have played absolutely magnificent in the last few weeks, but that was a stunning performance from the Lemondogs. Team fight after team fight, they were winning non-stop, coming out 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, and finally picking up the ace towards the end there. Great finish from the Lemondogs and a well-deserved victory.
Yeah, and you talked about under the radar, and I think that's perfect to talk about Tabzz as well, because it was all about Nukeduck on that talent for a long time there. He was the one constantly giving that question mark to Fnatic when it came to fights. Where is Nukeduck? Is he coming from the side, which most of the time he was from the river, you know, just moving in the side, moving in the back of them. But in the end, you look at Tabzz, and the entire time, as I said, that you've got Zorozero diving there, you've got Talon diving in there, and the fact is that Fnatic wanted them away from it, but that whole time, Tabzz is just hammering and hammering. 6-item build Caitlyn by the end of it. Not much you can do if you can't take him down.
Yeah, once he gets onto you, and you actually start to see it around about the 30-35 minute mark where xPeke went in towards him, and Tabzz is just like, I am not scared of you.
Yeah, you're gonna one burst, and then I've stole it all back up, and I could just keep fighting. Yeah, no problem.
Just didn't seem to worry about it, and that was the tipping point. And the fact that again, like, you know, there was a couple of team fights, and Dexter was just throwing himself in there time after time, selflessly. Fnatic were throwing all their abilities at him, and then Nukeduck was just sneaking around the side every time he was getting in there. The moment that Guardian Angel come out, you know, he's like, Nukeduck's not going to die anymore. He's not going to get focused. They can't focus him anyway, because he uses that ultimate and just disappears and stealths off and just annoys everybody. But fantastic play overall. Lemondogs, you know, we were a little bit unperturbed by the picks, and again, it was a strange game of picks and bans for both teams, pulling out surprises. The Gragas in the solo lane, we haven't seen that for a while in the European LCS, but the Talon in the mid lane, not a champion we've seen at all in the summer split so far, and it was a fantastic stats for him. 9-11, I think, at one point. I don't even know what he ended up towards there. I think it must have been like 10 or 11 kills. Yeah,
really solid. As you said, strange picks, but very solid as well. I mean, sOAZ on Gragas didn't do bad. He farmed it up perfectly. He was picking up kills, and I honestly think that the problem there for Fnatic was the targeting and where to put down that dispersion when it came to the barrel and to knocking people away with Xin Zhao ultimate. And they're the problems that they really had. But you know, you have to talk about the positives of this game, and that's Lemondogs at the top of the table. Crazy stuff. I mean, absolutely insane stuff. The table, funnily enough, I think is closer than it was at week 1 now after 8 weeks. And, you know, it's not over yet. Lemondogs could still finish bottom, and MWM could still finish top.
Yeah, and one person that's not going to be too happy about giving up that top spot, because Alternate have been up there for the last 7 weeks, is going to be Aaron Air. He is standing by, though, with Jason to take us through the match.
Thank you for that, Joe and Demon. And that was a pretty crazy match, considering how it kind of started right off the bat, how it was a little bit one-sided. But first, let's just talk about the picks and bans. Arna, can you kind of walk us through exactly what you saw?
Well, I predict almost like every pick from Lemondogs because we play against them, and we know like.
Wait, even the Talon?
Yeah, even the Talon.
Wow, okay.
Like Nukeduck is really, really good player. One of probably the best mid laners in Europe right now. And he was really impressive this game. And also Talon is kind of counter of Kassadin at some point. Like Kassadin need to get silenced so you can one-touch Kassadin, and Talon has that silent with the E.
Okay, and what about Fnatic's side? Because we've seen sOAZ obviously playing Blitzcrank yesterday. Now he's playing Gragas at the top lane, which we've seen in OGN a lot.
Yeah, I didn't expect Gragas. I mean, in IGN they play Gragas, but it's always Gragas mid lane. It's never Gragas top lane. So I didn't expect that, and still it was really good pick by him. He played really good, but still, it was like some kind of team fight that they didn't pull out the objectives enough, and they didn't pull out the good focus.
And what was the whole idea of the compositions of both teams? Like, walk us through, like, for instance, Fnatic. What were they going for the composition?
Fnatic has Sin and Gragas to pull away Kennen and Talon. The team fight, like, if Kennen and Talon try to go in, Sin is going to ultimate and pull him away, and Gragas is going to ultimate and kick him away. So they have this kind of kick out of the team, and also Kassadin is trying to clean out all the team. And in the other side, like, Lemondog is always playing with the same style. They use like, let Nukeduck split push one side, and when the enemy group up, Nukeduck just come from behind, always from behind, because he's always playing these kind of assassins. And in the moment like Lemondogs start initiating, Nukeduck just come behind and try to get one shot anyone, and then start the cleaning. And it
pretty much came to that point where he had the ability to do that, but we have a replay for you. It's about 27 minutes in, actually about 28 minutes in. It was a big fight around Dragon. So let's get that on your screen and kind of walk us through exactly what happens here and kind of how Lemondogs took this fight, and it kind of eventually helped him take the game.
Well, at this moment, I think Fnatic was completely out of position. I mean, they start Drake without a Fnatic cooldown contested at all. Even though Gragas has ultimate and was in the top lane, he wasn't on time. I mean, he teleported, but really late on Drake. And even that, they tried to engage on them, but they waste everything, or almost everything, on Dexter, on Javan. And at that point, let Nukeduck just free time to kill them all. And that was exactly what happened. At some point, they got like 4 kills on that. We're gonna see it now. He's now, Gragas is teleporting, he's trying to steal the Drake, or at least get it. At this point, they get it already. Gragas go in and try to kill Dexter. And they waste everything on Dexter. I mean, all the cooldown from Kassadin, all the cooldown from Gragas on Dexter. He didn't die. And at this point, Nukeduck is now coming for the whole team. And even Kennen had a full ultimate on all of them. And that was pretty much what happened. I mean, they just make a bad decision in the team fight, only killing Zorozero, and now after they will kill Dexter, but Nukeduck is still there. Right, yep. Nukeduck is coming, and he's gonna just one-shot 2 of them.
Yeah, it's actually very beautiful to see. It's kind of really funny.
And that's probably the most funny moment, when Javan is trying to recall, and Gragas... No, please, keep on.
Boom.
That one.
I
was waiting for that one,
I had to
please.
speed up a little bit at the end, but yeah, it was... Was that a team fight that really caused the game to completely go in Lemondogs' favor?
I really think so. I mean, it wasn't the only team fight, but in the next team fight, it happened all the time the same. They tried to shut down Dexter before the team fight, but Dexter was full tanky, and it was their own purpose. Like, he was staying in front of them to let Nukeduck and all the team going behind and just kill them. And they waste so much every time, Dexter.
Okay, well, Arne, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck on your games next week coming up. And speaking of Dexter, we actually do have him with Shocks for a little bit of an interview.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Jason. Dexter, congratulations on your victory, first and foremost. And secondly, first off, the talent pick. Not something we see that often in the mid lane in the professional games. Is Nukeduck the kind of player that says, I'm going to play him, and you just let him? And how did it eventually work out?
Well, if Nukeduck has an idea what can work out in the scrim or something, he's gonna play it like solo queue 5-6 times. And he was like, okay, I need another assassin because my assassins are getting banned from time to time. And we were like, okay, what about Talon? And then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna spam in solo queue. We scrimmed alternate a bit, and EG, I think, was Talon. And it worked out pretty well. And we were like, okay, this is the time to pick Talon now against Kassadin.
Against Kassadin, yeah, the farming game was pretty equal, but despite Fnatic having the early game, you guys were able to come back. Why was that?
I think we played the dragon fight that was just shown in the replay pretty well, and we got a lot of other... Nukeduck got like 2 or 3 kills out of this, even when he died. But after this, he couldn't like... Kessin couldn't even deal with him one-on-one, and that was like the whole strategy about that. Kessin goes split push, even with the Gragas teleport, and they couldn't really one-on-one Nukeduck anymore. And after that, they kind of failed at engaging fights, and yeah, we always got the engage on them, but they never had the chance to engage on us, and I soaked so much damage that Nukeduck could just come in and clean up the team fights pretty much.
Did you expect that they would throw out something special again after yesterday with the crazy pick? They had a Gragas. We've seen that in the top lane before, but it's of course sOAZ on Gragas. Were you, especially for a jungler, he has an escape, he has that ultimate that can knock you out of position. Was that harder for you?
Well, it's pretty much ungankable in the lane, as even with Jarvan, like the best ganker in the lane, in the game, it's still impossible to gank him pretty much, and yeah. We were like, okay, just let them have the one-on-one against Ken. We know Ken's super strong, and we had like a 6-item Ken, and after this, yeah, we knew that Ken is gonna outscale Gragas no matter what happens. So even if Gragas was 5-1, I think, and really fat and good farm, but he couldn't do anything against us because like he never got the ultimate on our important carries, so it was pretty much irrelevant.
Right, now the early game was a little slow. Would you say that this was the game maybe with the highest stress level for you guys in the summer split?
I think until this point, this was like the most important game because now we secured like the rank 1 position for us, and we have like a 1-game lead on Fnatic. It's like the most important game. Like we never had so much stress, but we knew like as soon as we went into the game and we got the first kills, we were like, okay, we got this. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
You got this. Now, talking about the rest of the season, just a couple of weeks left. Who do you think is your main threat to jeopardize that rank 1 position you have? Which team?
I don't think there's a main threat right now, but I think like every team can still step up their game, and I think like 5 or 6 teams are still in the position to beat us, and could maybe like with a good week or 2 good weeks could take the spot of rank 1. So it's really hard to say who's like the main enemy of us, but I think everyone is still in the position to take the rank 1 position right now.
All right, thank you very much, Dexter. Now, both EG and SK have shown flashes of brilliance this season, but they can't seem